is a lot of the younger songwriters that are familiar to us, like Tom Rush or Joni Mitchell or Gordon Lightfoot, have been listened to very closely by a lot of country singers. And our next performer is one who has used songs like Urge for Going in a country setting, and it's come out to be what they call a Nashville country folk. And I'd like you to make him welcome now from the Grand Ole Opry, George Hamilton IV and the Numbers.
Well, I got my mail late last night, a letter from a gal who found the time to write to a lonesome boy somewhere in the night. Sent me a railroad ticket to take me to 11 Arms, and the big steel rail gonna carry me home to the one I love. I've been uptight most of the night, walking along the streets of this old town. Not a friend around to tell my troubles to. Good old car, she done broke down 'cause I drove it to the ground, and the big steel rail gonna carry me home to the one I love. We'll look over yonder across that plain, the big dry wheels are pounding along the ground. Gonna get on board and I'll be homeward bound. I ain't had a home-cooked meal, Lord, I need one now, and the big steel rail gonna carry me home to the one I love. Here I am with my hat in my hand, standing on the broad highway. Would you give a ride to a lonesome boy? Missed the train last night. Went in town for one last round, gamble my ticket away, and the big steel rail won't carry me home to the one I love. Thank you. Abeline, Abeline, prettiest town I've ever seen. Women there don't treat you mean, and Abeline, my Abeline, I sit alone most every night, watch those trains pull out of sight. Don't I wish they were carrying me back to Abeline, my Abeline. Crowded city, there ain't nothing free, nothing in this town for me. Wish to the Lord that I could be in Abeline, sweet Abeline. Abeline, Abeline, prettiest town I've ever seen. Women there don't treat you mean, in Abeline, my Abeline. Women there don't treat you mean, in Abeline, my Abeline. Thank you. Thank you very much. We sure appreciate that, and we're very honored and grateful for the invitation to come to the Newport Folk Festival. I'm very proud to be here, and we'd like to do a few songs for you that were written by good friends of ours and people that we admire very much. Here's a song that I first heard over the radio from Boston. A young fellow there was playing it by Tom Rush, and I just about ran off the interstate. I was driving down through Tennessee and heard a song called Urge for Going by Tom Rush. And since then I met the young lady who wrote it, Joni Mitchell, whom, by the way, I think is one of the greatest talents to come along in folk music in years. My favorite girl singer in folk music. We recorded this song of Joni's in Nashville a couple years ago under Chet Atkins at RCA, and we sort of did it Nashville style. We hope you'll enjoy our arrangement of Joni's great ballad, The Urge for Going. I awoke today and found the frost perched on the town. It hovered in a frozen sky, then gobbled summer down. When the sun turns traitor cold and all the trees stand shivering in a naked row, I get the urge for going. I never seem to go. I had a girl in summertime, a summer-colored skin. Not another man in town my darling's heart could win. When the leaves fell trembling down and bully winds did push their faces in the snow, she got the urge for going. I had to let her go. And she got the urge for going when the meadow grass was a turning brown, summertime was a falling down, and winter closing in. Now the warriors of winter give a cold, triumphant shout, and all that stays is dying, all that lives is getting out. See the geese in chevron flight, flapping and a-racing on before the snow. They've got the urge for going, they've got the wings to go. I'd like to call back summertime and have her stay for just another month or so, but she's got the urge for going. I guess she'll have to go. And I get the urge for going when the meadow grass is a turning brown, summertime is a falling down, and winter closing in. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd like for y'all to meet a couple gentlemen who travel around the country with me about 100,000 miles a year. We take turns driving. Not only are they fine musicians, but they're great drivers too, which is even more important. Over here on the electric bass fiddle from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Been a member of the Grand Ole Opry for several years and one of the most versatile musicians down that way, Mr. Johnny Weathers. On the electric guitar, the newest member of the Numbers. He just joined us recently, and he's been one of the top guitar players in country music for years. Used to be with the Louvin Brothers. A lot of you Louvin Brother fans have probably heard him on records with them. Mr. Paul Yandel over here. Let's give him a hand, get him to do one for us. Paul? Paul Yandel on electric guitar. Plays that thing so good, makes me ashamed to stand here and hold mine up, much less try to play on it. Paul comes from a good old southern family. I'm Kentucky. His great-granddaddy had a big cotton farm, raised cotton and corn. I think they got about 36 gallons to the acre on their corn down there. I don't know. Yippee. My great-granddaddy was a railroad man out in Missouri. Him and Jesse James and Frank and a few other boys. Here's a song that's written by a young man that's been a buddy of mine for years. He's from Durham, North Carolina. Way back in 1956, he wrote a song called A Rose and a Baby Ruth, which was our first record and his first song to be recorded. His name's John D. Loudermilk, and here's one of John's newer songs that he wrote for us and we recorded last year. It's sort of a nitty-gritty, uptight, folk country, psychedelic, hillbilly love ballad. You believe that? One called Break My Mind. Baby, oh baby, tell the man at the ticket stand that you change your mind. Let me run on out and tell the cab to keep his meter flying. 'Cause if you say goodbye to me, babe, you're gonna break my mind. Break my mind, break my mind. No, I just can't stand to hear them big jet engines whine. Break my mind, break my mind, oh Lord. 'Cause if you leave, you're gonna leave a babbling fool behind. Baby, oh baby, let me take your suitcase off of the scales in time. Tell the man that you suddenly developed a thing about flying. 'Cause if you say goodbye to me, babe, you're gonna break my mind. Break my mind, break my mind. No, I just can't stand to hear them big jet engines whine. Break my mind, break my mind, oh Lord. 'Cause if you leave, you're gonna leave a babbling fool behind. Thank you. Thank you very much. In the early morning rain, with $1 in my hand and an aching in my heart, with my pockets full of sand, I'm a long ways from home and I miss my loved ones so. In the early morning rain, with no place to go, out on runway number 9, big 707 set to go. Well, I'm standing on the grass where the cold winds blow. Now the liquor tasted good and the women all were fast. Oh, but there she goes, my friend, she's a-rolling now at last. Hear the mighty engines roar, see that silver bird on high. She's away and westward bound, far above the clouds she'll fly, where the morning rain don't fall and the sun always shines. She'll be flying o'er my home in about 3 hours' time. This old airport's got me down, it's no earthly good to me, but I'm stuck here on the ground, cold and drunk as I can be. You can't jump a big jet plane like you can an old freight train, so I'd best be on my way in the early morning rain. Yeah, best be on my way in the early morning rain.
They sure do dress up nice and neat down in Nashville, don't they? You know, I want to tell a little story about George Hamilton for. It has to do with the whole basis of our Newport Folk Foundation. You know, all the artists that work here, no matter how big, what stature they have, no matter how small they are as far as commercial success is, they all get paid the same amount of money. They get paid $50 a piece for their performances. Not many people realize this because they don't bother to ask questions, but it is a foundation and the money is used in many, many different ways.
So let's welcome tonight to the stage one of the finest traditional singers in this country and bluegrass musicians, Ralph Stanley.
Thinking of you, feeling so blue, wondering why you left me behind. Get in, boy, go back home, back to the girl you love. Treat her right, never wrong, now mountain girl you love. I remember the night we strolled down the lane, our hearts were gay and happy then. You whispered to me as I held you close, you hope the night will never end. Get in, boy, go back home, back to the girl you love. Treat her right, never wrong, now mountain girl you love.
Thank you. Thank you very much, folks. We'd like to say a big howdy to you and welcome to our portion. We're real glad to be here at the Newport Folk Festival, and we hope that you'll enjoy some of our old-fashioned way of picking and singing. If you do, I'd like to give the fellers a little applause when we finish with a song or a tune. Well, we'll appreciate it and work that much harder for you. I'd like to tell you who the fellers are here on the stage very briefly. Over here on the right, playing the fiddle. He's been in the business a long time. We think he's one of the best old-time fiddlers in the business. He was born and raised in the state of West Virginia, Curly Ray Klein. Back here on the bass fiddle is another fine fellow. We've been knowing him a long time. He always helps us out when we're up in this part of the world. He hails from around Memphis, Tennessee. He's been living in Baltimore, Maryland now for a good while. Let's make welcome Tom Morgan.
Yeah, all right.
Back here behind me now on one of the guitars, this feller's been with the show a long time, does a real good job. I don't know hardly how we'd do without this gentleman. From the state of West Virginia, Melvin Goins. Over here on the left, playing the other guitar, he sings lead and plays rhythm guitar, also some lead guitar. He was born and raised in the state of Ohio. Larry Sparks.
Hey, all right. How's it going? Thank you. I'd like to tell you the fella that's been doing all the talking. He's one of the finest old-time singers and one of the greatest old-time banjo players, and it's enjoyable to be working with him. I'd like you all to really rear back and give him a nice hand applause to Ralph Stanley. What do you say out there?
Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. I'd like to do an old-time solo number now for you here tonight called I'm a Man of Constant Sorrow. Sorrow, I've seen trouble all my days. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the state where I was born and raised. For 6 long years I've been in trouble. Pleasure here on earth I find. For in this world I'm bound to ramble. I have no friend to help me now. Just a stranger, my face you never will see no more. But there is one promise that is given. I'll meet you on God's golden shore. Thank you. I'd like to do you a couple of numbers here now. I'll do part of one and then wind up with the other one called Pretty Polly and Wild Bill Jones. Oh, Polly, pretty Polly, would you take me unkind? Polly, would you take me unkind? Me to sit beside you and tell you my mind. Well, my mind is to marry and never to part. My mind is to marry and never to part. First time I saw you, it wounded my heart. Polly, pretty Polly, come and go along with me. Polly, pretty Polly, come and go along with me. Before we get married, some pleasure we'll see. Well, he led her over mountains and valleys so deep. He led her over mountains and valleys so deep. Polly mistrusted and then began to weep, saying, Willie, little Willie, I'm afraid of your wings. Willie, little Willie, I'm afraid of your way. Well, you've been rambling, you lead me astray. As I went out to take a little walk, I walked upon that Wild Bill Jones. He was walking and talking by true lover's side. I forbid him to leave her alone. Well, he said my age is 21, too old to be controlled. So I drew my revolver from my side. I destroyed that poor boy's soul. They sent me to prison for 20 long years. This poor boy longs to be free. But Wild Bill Jones and that long neck bottle had been a ruin of me. Hey, all right. All right. Thank you very much, folks. That's Pretty Polly and Wild Bill Jones. We'd like to do you a duet number now. Call on Larry Sparks to join in. This is a song that's supposed to be true. It's written down in the hills of Tennessee in Roane County, down around Kingston. Heard several different stories. Some folks say that this family got in a feud over a tobacco crop, and some says it was over some moonshine whiskey. But what it was, I don't know, but I think it's a real good song called The Hills of Roane County.
In the beautiful hills way back in Roane County, that's where I've roamed for many long years. That's where my heart's been tending most ever. That's where the first step of misfortune I've made. I was 30 years old when I courted and married. When Armando Gilbreth was then called my wife, her brother stabbed me for some unknown reason. Just 3 months later, I'd taken Tom's life. For 25 years, this whole world I'll ramble. I went to old England, to France and to Spain. Then I thought of my home way back in Roane County. I boarded a steamer and I come back again. I was captured and tried in the village of Kingston. Not a man in that county would speak one kind word. When the jury came in with the verdict next morning, A lifetime in prison were the words that I heard. When the train pulled out, poor mother stood weeping, and sister, she said, alone with a sigh. And the last words I heard was, Willie, God bless you. Was, Willie, God bless you, goodbye. No matter what happens to me in Roane County, no matter how long my sins may be, I love my old home way back in Roane County. It's way back down in old East Tennessee. Sweet Martha was great, but Corey was better. They're better and worse, although you can see. Boys, when you ride home from the prison in Nashville, place one of my songs in your letter for me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We hope you enjoyed the hills of Roane County. We're going to call Curly Ray Klein up now with the fiddle to do an old-timer. We think he does a fine job on one called Sally Gooden. Curly, that's a real fine job there on an old-timer called Sally Gooden. Folks, I believe about all of our time's gone. We're going to do one more song, and then we'll be leaving the stage and making room for some more fine talent. We've really enjoyed being here at the Newport Folk Festival and hope you've enjoyed our part of the show. We're going to wind up with one now. There's several different ways to pick a 5-string banjo, And I'm going to play this in the old claw hammer style, I call it. Learned to play this way several years ago. This is on a phonograph record called Little Birdie. Little birdie, won't you sing to me a song? Got a short time to stay here and a long time to be gone. Rather be in some dark corner where the sun don't never shine, and for you to be another man's darling, and to know that you'd never be mine. What makes you fly so high when you know that my true lover is waiting in the sky?
Country folk. Hey.